Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 28th. Just for your knowledge, in case you're watching this on replay and wonder when things are happening, Dr. Trudy's going to be with us today. We have a great question for Ask Dr. Trudy. By the way, you can always go and ask Dr. Trudy questions on the app. As you're watching us across the Abundant TV app, go to connect and just click inside the app, hit connect, and you can ask questions there. Appreciate each and every one of you. We wish we could answer all of your questions. Unfortunately, we can't. It would be neat to spend a couple hours sometime with Dr. Trudy and just answering your questions. And maybe, who knows, this fall, maybe this winter, when Dr. Trudy has some time, we may cut a couple extra shows where we just answer question after question. We do get a lot here at Abundant TV. Today, by the way, is National Hamburger Day. Now, this is not National Cheeseburger Day, and I know they're easily confused, but it's National Hamburger Day. I have to be honest with you, and I was thinking of this as we were coming on the air this morning. I'm not as huge a fan of a plain hamburger as I am a cheeseburger. So I know there are purists out there that are going to say, well, that's not. Well, I like a cheeseburger. Now, if it's good meat and it's a good restaurant, a good hamburger is really good, and it saves you some calories, which I'm sure Dr. Trudy, and I'm sure tease her at some point coming up about her food habits, including I'm still not getting, I still haven't gotten over the whole last time we talked, and she told me that for her spaghetti, she uses cabbage. No, can't unthink that one. Can't unsee that one every time I go in the grocery store and go buy the cabbage and think, she's putting meatballs and marinara over this. No. But anyway, so what do you put on your hamburger? We'll get back to this because I'm still having flashbacks about the cabbage. So what do you put on your hamburger? And I found this really interesting because I looked it up because, that's what you do when you ask a question like this. And the number one thing that everybody puts on a regular hamburger, different than a cheeseburger, is they do put ketchup. Almost everyone that eats a plain hamburger, the percentage are right around 70% of people who eat hamburgers instead of cheeseburgers put ketchup on. The interesting thing after that, though, becomes mustard or relish. Now, I joked with my wife about this, and we did burgers in a bowl because we were cutting out the bread and all this stuff. So a couple of weeks ago, we did burgers in a bowl. Now, normally my wife cuts up pickles for hers because she has certain kind of pickles she likes in her burger in a bowl. I just got some relish like I would for a hot dog and put it in there. It was good. No cutting. I think that's my singleness. So much of my life I spent as a single guy, and you learn tricks in how you're going to eat. Instead of cutting up something, I immediately went, I could just get relish. It's already cut up. It's pretty smart that way. Anyway, so those are a couple of things. So it is National Hamburger Day. We're going to ask Dr. Trudy, who probably hasn't eaten a hamburger in 35 years, how she eats her hamburgers, just so we can get a good answer out of that. Also, it's National Chocolate Day. We also know that isn't something that Dr. Trudy is going to partake in, but it's National Milk Chocolate Day. Not again to be confused with dark chocolate, which again, here's the thing. Nothing against those of you that like, regular chocolate, milk chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate guy though, but I will drink some good coffee from the folks at 7 Weeks Coffee and eat some milk chocolate on occasion. It's good. Now, I'll even tell you this, and this is a controversial take. I actually like hot chocolate that is milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate. There's my controversial take for the day. I do like dark chocolate, hot chocolate on occasion. Ghirardelli's is good. I don't know. There's a couple places that do. Caribou Coffee has a great dark hot chocolate. And so those are a couple of things. But anyway, it is Milk Chocolate Day. Celebrate with a candy bar or something like that. I think I will text Kristen and tell her that we needed to celebrate that tonight at some point. But those are a couple things. Great folks. 7 weeks coffee, by the way, just incredible. Listen, if you love coffee, and especially if you love a good small batch, small roast coffee, the folks at 7 weeks coffee are your ultimate choice. Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to go to 7weekscoffee.com. You need to check out their great sales that they've got going on right now. They don't even let me talk about it on air. They're that great. But go there, use the promo code ATV10 when you order, and get some coffee. Can't have it for today. It won't get here today, but order some coffee. You can celebrate Milk Chocolate Week all week long and have some coffee from the great folks at 7 Weeks and some chocolate. By the way, and my wife is the one that suggested this, get the variety pack. It's 4 different blends. I prefer a dark roast, though their morning blend has just a hint of a taste of caramel, though it's not there. And I've talked about this when we do the Daniel Fast every year at the start of the year. I use the light blend because it gives me almost the fake feeling of caramel. And I need that because I can't have any sugar, which is tough. My wife and I walked out of the grocery store last night. We were talking about that. We need to do that again. And I'm like, yeah, that 21 days at the start of the year is a lot. I don't know if I can do like a midterm or a mid-year yeah, fast. I'm just not sure. There's so many great things during the summer. Anyway, hey, listen, we also, you can't rule out the other snacks, and that's the freeze-dried snacks from the great folks at my-snackies.com. That's my-snackies.com. Hey, listen, when you contact Donnie and the great team at my-snackies.com, remember to mention that you saw it on Abundant TV. When we come back, we're going to ask Dr. Trudy about both National Milk Chocolate Day and National Hamburger Day. And I know the resounding answer will be that she doesn't partake of either. But we're going to do that after these very important messages.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 and order. There's a lot of great deals on the website, so go check them out. It is always fun to have Dr. Trudy with us today on the show. Okay, we're going to start with the easy one because I know you don't, but are you going to celebrate Milk Chocolate Day?
Oh my goodness. No, yes, no, I don't know. No, I won't. No,
you won't. No.
I mean, I like dark chocolate.
See, I do too. I like dark chocolate better. I'm a dark chocolate guy.
Yeah. No, there's no benefit with milk chocolate.
I don't think so either. Yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
National Hamburger Day.
I love
No, you do not. No.
I do love a good hamburger. Now, I won't use a bun. I won't eat a bun.
Probably wraps it in lettuce.
But yeah, I do. But I do love a great hamburger. I mean, there's a lot of protein in a hamburger. So I do love a great hamburger.
Okay. So what do you put on your hamburger, even though you wrap it in lettuce? Which, by the way, I've done. I'm giving, it's just so everybody knows, Trudy knows I'm giving her a hard time on purpose.
No,
just because I had one person send me a message through the app that I was mean to you. I've known Dr. Trudy a long time. She knows I'm not doing it. I'm doing it because I'm kidding her. But I did want to clarify that today because I got an email. You're mean to Dr. Trudy. I'm like, no, I'm not. I love Dr. Trudy.
Oh, yeah. No. I don't think you're mean at all. But no, I put lettuce, avocado, cheese, and sometimes I'll put mustard or ketchup, depending on how I feel.
I
Because I like to
never
dip it in the sauce.
I've never had avocado on a hamburger.
Avocado is so, so, so good for you.
Yep, that's what I hear. My wife loves it. I don't know. I have a problem, Dr. Trudy. We could talk about this. This could be our session today. I have a problem with foods that are green.
Really?
I
Why?
don't know. Maybe I was traumatized as a young child with like lime jello. I don't know. I don't know
Maybe.
what
Maybe we should investigate that, Rob, one day.
it's. I never. Okay, so seriously, and this is not being funny. I have always found like green vegetables and stuff have kind of an earthy taste to them.
Well, they probably do because obviously, well, lettuce, always in the ground. But I think it's how you season it. Like we talked about kale, and you like to bake kale.
Oh, I do.
Kale's green, right?
Yep, I
So
do, and I love it. I was shocked. I have to tell you, and if you've never done it, because you know when you hear it, you go, really? Like baked kale, you bake it in the oven. My wife did that, or you can do it in a fryer, one of those things. I can't think of what they're called, like a ninja thing. If you want to do it that way, we do ours in the oven.
yeah.
And I will tell you this, it is amazingly good. My wife put lemon juice on them and a little I forget what she put, the other thing that was on there. It wasn't very much of anything, but it was really good. And I was really shocked. I have to tell you, I was floored by how good it was. And I ate a whole bowl of it, which you can eat as much. Maybe that was it. It was kind of fun because you could eat like this huge humongous thing, and it was like it was a non-factor in any calories or anything like that. So maybe
And then
that
it
was
had
what
that
was.
good crunch to it, right? It has
Oh
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So
see, that was kind of neat. It was different. I mean, like I wouldn't want it every day, but we've added it to our repertoire, and so it is a part of our kind of like snack thing. And it's tough though. Summer, I've now come to the conclusion, summer is almost tougher than winter because you're traveling so much. For us, we're traveling a lot during the summer. So we get into bad habits of eating
mhm.
things that you shouldn't
The
or
average
places.
person gains more weight in the summer than in the winter. And
Really?
yes, yes. And then because of those reasons, and then the other big weight gain season is from Thanksgiving to New Year's. But
Oh, completely. Yeah.
you think you're going to lose weight in the summer, but people rarely lose weight in the summer. It's in the spring and the fall.
Yeah, see, I no, totally batten down the hatches. In fact, I'm already looking forward to it. Thanksgiving to Christmas is just like it's usually holiday parties,
Mhm.
and there's foods that, I love. And then Thanksgiving this year, it's kind of neat in our family dynamic, and that leads us into our question coming up here in a minute. But our family dynamic is really neat. Um, for Thanksgiving, one year it's with Jerry and Sandy, my mother and father-in-law, and just our immediate family. Then one year it is Sandy's whole family. They get together. It's really cool. We do it at a church. It
Nice.
reminds me when I was younger and my mom's family. So that's really neat. And then the third year is Chris and I have Jerry and Sandy, my mother and father-in-law, here at our home. And so
Mhm.
we do it that way. That's the way we do it. So I'm always looking forward to and Sandy's all of her sisters, all of that family are amazing cooks. So like Thanksgiving is like I overload. And I try not to embarrass my wife by how much I eat. But their Thanksgiving with them is always incredible. But it's like you said, and then you have all these parties, and then people bring you cookies, your
Mhm.
cookies, somebody sends you fudge, you gotta eat it, you can't throw it away. One of Kristen's, uh, people that she works with in the law world, sends her a box of stuff that is just it's train wreck of fat. It's like you might as well just say, "I'm going to gain," and there's only the 2 of us, so you know you're going to eat it, and you're going to gain probably 5 pounds just eating it. Just looking at the box, you
Just
gain.
look at the box. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
our question of the day comes from, and by the way, if you ever feel like you want to ask Dr. Trudy a question, she's on every 2 weeks on the show. And so we look forward to that. And you can just go to the app and ask her in the Abundant TV app, ask her a question. It's under Connect, and just say, ask Dr. Trudy in the subject line so I can find it. But Dr. Trudy, the question of the day, as a lady wrote to us, and she didn't say where she was from, and that's fine. But she is in the process. Her just next month, her and her fiance are getting married. And she said, we will then have a blended family. She said, I have two girls, and he has a girl and a boy. And her question to you is, how do you navigate that first stages of blending a family together? And what is your recommendation? And she asked you this, and this is the final part of the question, is would it be smart right away to maybe see a counselor and to lead the kids through these steps? So that's the question. I'm going to step out of the way because now it's seriousness, and let Dr.
Yeah.
Trudy answer this.
That's a loaded question. And my first answer would be yes. If at all possible, it would be great to have just a meeting with a counselor before you actually get married, just because you want to make sure everyone's on the same page, because a blended family can be a beautiful thing if it's handled the right way. You want to make sure when you're moving into that blended family, you get rid of the word my kids, your kids. You want to make sure they become our kids, right? And the sad part is, Robin, over 50% of the people who get married get divorced, and the blended families are just, they're out there, and we've got to learn to make sure that when we blend in love, right? Because a lot of times, think about when you and Kristen first got married, right? It was honeymoon stage for so long, and that's how it is when a new marriage happens, right? But you can't really have that long honeymoon stage when you have five kids coming in under that roof. You've got to make sure that you're tending to their needs as well. And so I think the whole family needs to have counseling, get together, make sure they're on the same page. But then I think the husband and wife need to have that counseling time too, because they're going to need that support as they blend those families together, because it's not going to be easy, especially 2 girls, 3 girls and a boy, right? I mean, there's going to be emotional outbursts. Probably there's going to be irritability. There's going to be even sadness and grief of what maybe they thought they had and then they lost. And so really learning how to navigate those emotions. And that's where the counseling aspect will come in and help the new husband and wife come together and be a unit, because a lot of times, even in marriages that aren't split, you can have dividedness. Is that the right word?
It's a good word. I like it.
How you parent, right? Like, you may not be on the same page with how you parent. And when you're bringing in a blended family, their ways are different than your ways. And you've got to meet in the middle on what's the best way to handle discipline, to handle celebrations, because each child is different. But you want to be consistent on the discipline, on the celebration, on the, encouragement. You want to make sure there's consistency across the board.
And I think something you brought up was really interesting, and you can elaborate on this because this is in your wheelhouse. So you mentioned Kristen and I. We were raised very similar, but still there were nuances that were different. Mm-hmm. And here in this situation, not only do both the new husband and the new wife have their past of their own family, but then they have a more near future past of they had the way their family ran prior to their divorces. So you're bringing layers in. How do you navigate that? I mean, I would think that would be where you really need to kind of drill in.
Right. And I think you navigate it one step at a time, like one mountain at a time, because there's going to be mountains and there's going to be valleys. And, at that point, when you bring the families together, you have to learn to build trust. Both parties need to, spend time alone with the new, the kids coming in, but also starting new traditions. Just because you did it one way and the other family did it the other way doesn't mean it's going to mesh. So think about starting new traditions, for the holidays, for birthdays, and create those new traditions and memories for the new family. The kids may have some really great ideas. Let the kids bring some ideas to the table. And then just make sure, again, it's really important that you're consistent with the rules, and the husband and wife need to sit down and say, okay, I did it this way, you did it this way. How are we going to do it together? And make that commitment together that we're going to do it different, because this is a different situation. And it didn't, the old should be passed, tossed aside. The new has come, and you're going to have to start those new traditions, form those new patterns, and just make sure that you're open to that communication.
So would you suggest, and I don't know if this is even a good idea or not, but I'm going to ask you, would you suggest maybe sitting down and writing out kind of an outline of how you handle certain things?
I think that would be great. And that's, I think, where the counseling will come in and help out. When you have those valley moments, how are we going to deal with that? How are we going to deal with, what if one of the kids starts to have irrational behavior? Well, how are we going to choose to deal with that? How are we going to do holidays? Because with a blended family, there's a lot that goes into that. And it may be that you take each holiday as it comes, and nothing is set in stone. But this holiday season, we're doing this. We'll think about next holiday season after we get through this holiday season. What worked? What didn't work? What did we enjoy? What did we not enjoy? But I think starting those, open communication is huge. You have to, trust is what? It's earned, right? And so being honest, being authentic, being open, so that trust can be built for both parties as they come together. I think that, again, is it four kids? Each of those children are individual. And so the husband and wife need to get to know them on an individual basis. And then I do think it's wise for the husband and wife to continue having that date night and, counseling, even if it's just once a month, going in and saying, hey, this is how we're doing. These are our struggles. And this is where we want to get to, and being open that way, because even marriage without divorce, without blendedness is hard, right? And we're constantly, adjusting and learning and growing. And so, bringing in blended families, don't think anything less, right? You're constantly growing. There's going to choose the battles that you want to die on. And the ones that you're like, those aren't worth it right now. I love you more,
I love what you said too. And I think that it's something that in that situation is how events evolve. It's like, this is the way we're going to do it this year. It doesn't mean that this is the way it's always going to be.
Yeah, because things change and things evolve, and what we think is a great idea, Rob, may not be that great of an idea. And so as parents, we've got to say, okay, that didn't go as I thought. So let's back up, let's refocus, and let's figure out how to move forward so that it is a great holiday season. It's a great Christmas season, birthday season, whatever it is. So as parents, we've got to be okay with saying, hey, you know what? That really wasn't a great idea that I had, or I was wrong. And we need to rethink this as a family. And I think having, family dinners, that's a lost art, but sitting down at least, twice a week, if not more, and having those family dinners. Hey, how was your day? What was great about it? What are you thankful for? What was a win that you had today? And just that open communication is going to breed so much more unity than not doing it. You don't want to be ships passing in the wind.
And see, I think that's a big thing. And what you just said is communication. And especially, and maybe that's something, and we don't know, because that was the gist of the email. We don't know, but I think instituting at least twice a week where you sit down together and have dinner, that's a lost art, Dr. Trudy.
Yes.
I talked to friends of mine who have kids, and they like, well, no, we haven't eaten dinner together in like 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh my goodness. In our family, it was at least my mom and dad, if it wasn't at least 3 times a week, we all sat together was probably more. It was probably more like 4 or 5.
Mhm.
And I
Oh,
think that was a big time where I would find out and talk about things. And it also made me feel, and I think this is important, and I think with the blended situation, even more important, that I was involved in the family, that it
mhm.
wasn't just the family, and then especially as I was the only child, but it felt like I was a part of a family decision making process.
Absolutely. I mean, we have dinner. We don't do it as much in the summertime because we're just kind of swimming and doing other crazy things. But we have dinner together in the winter, fall, spring. We have dinner together, honestly, pretty much every night. But sometimes I'm going to tell you it's in front of the TV in the summertime because we're watching this really funny sitcom as a family. So we ate dinner in the front of the TV. But when summer's over, we go back to dinner at the table. But we incorporate. Okay, so what do you guys want to do this year? Like, what do you want to do on vacation? Where do we want to go? Because yeah, that brings that unity and that community that you want in your family, and that it opens up for discussion, right? Like, oh, I don't want to go to the beach this year. Well, I want to go skiing this year. And then this year we're going to do what Susie wants to do. Next year we're going to do what Rick wants to do, whatever. But you have those conversations and keep it alive, and that make I just building. It's a lost art: communication, trust, unity, family. And so we all have to work hard on it. I think every family should go to counseling at least once a year or twice a year just for a check-in.
Kind of a tune up.
Yeah, I mean, we take our cars in for tune-ups, we do all these things, but let's do a family checkup. How are we doing as a family? And how am I doing as a wife? How am I doing as a mom? Because we all can get complacent and we all can get stuck in that routine and those habits. And some of those habits are just not good and they need to be broken. So I would encourage this family to, one step at a time, seek counsel, seek help, but get rid of the my kids, your kids, and just learn to know your kids, because there are going to be, like I said, outbreaks, isolation, irritability, sadness, grief. There's going to be these things as they're losing what they thought they had were supposed to have, bringing something and somebody in new. And especially, if that spouse, if the parent hasn't been, let's just say they've been divorced for a long time and the kids had the parent all to themselves. Well, now they've got this new person that's taking all the time away. And that's a whole nother level that needs to be dealt with. And that's where I think good counseling and coaching come in. So, yeah.
Yep. I think that's so important. Dr. Trudy, give everybody the way they can get a hold of you.
Yep. So I'm still working on my website, which I've been working on for a while now. The Lord's been like all over the place with me right now. But you can reach me at drtrudysimmons@gmail.com. My website right now is still trudysimmons.net. So you can reach me there.
Awesome.
But I'm
on social media. You're all over social media.
I'm on social media. Yep.
There you go. Dr. Trudy with us again. Thank you so much, and appreciate you. I really do. And it's just always good to have you on the show. Dr. Trudy, find her online all over the place, and she'll be back with us again in 2 weeks. We love Dr. Trudy here on the show. Where did the time go? It always goes by so fast when we get to hang out and ask questions of Dr. Trudy. Remember, you can find her by contacting us via the app at our Abundant TV app, and do that and just put on there, Ask Dr. Trudy. We appreciate her so much. Hey, listen, thanks so much for spending part of your morning with us. This has been your morning break.